Is it data or data? Is it root or root? Is it caramel or caramel? Is it either or either? Is it red or red? I hate all of you so much right now. Is it tear or tear? Is it just me who automatically read them each differently? My dad is drunk watching Bob Ross and nodding every few seconds going interesting, and that's a good way of thinking about it, Bob. Update. My dad just sat up a little straighter and said alright, some trees. So I was trying to google that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack and Will are walking underwater with the rowboat over their heads, cause it looks cool and I wanna try it. But the thing is, I googled boat scene in Pirates of the Caribbean. I keep cursing in ice cream flavors and my mom has told me to stop. Update. I still haven't stopped. How do you curse in ice cream flavors? What the man chocolate chip did you say to me, punk? I'll kick your rocky road and then punch the ever-loving strawberry cheesecake out of you. That was beautiful. So I went to the eye doctor, right, and I sit down to fill out the paperwork like you do, and the lady was like, thanks, doctor will be with you in a moment, and I was like, why did she say doctor twice? That's weird. But then I looked at the business cards on the table and his name was actually Dr. Chad Doctor, and I looked around and the other assistant caught my eye and just nodded like, you just had the moment, didn't you? Chad saw his chance and took it. Virgin Doctor versus Chad Doctor. There's this one girl our school who sends a mass text to the whole year group whenever she sees a dog so that we can go pat it too if we're nearby, and I've petted at least 5 dogs because of her that I wouldn't have otherwise, and I don't know, I hope you all have someone like her in your lives. My friend's brother told his family that he had this big announcement for them when they all got home, and he gathered them up in the living room and they all thought he was coming out, and his mother was already crying, and her and my friend who were out together before that already had a speech prepared for him about how much they love him and how nothing has changed, but turns out that his big reveal was telling his family that he is coming out as a furry to them. And apparently the mom has been laughing hysterically and staring at a blank space in the wall for the past half an hour, while the dad is googling everything about furries and sighing every few minutes, and my friend is sending updates to our GC, while the brother is just kind of awkwardly still standing there waiting for some other reaction. Why didn't you tag it as a dream? Op. You better tell us why. Op. This better not be real. Op. Nervous laughter. I met a cute girl in school and we really hit it off. We eventually started dating, but kept it secret for a while because I hadn't come out as a lesbian yet. One day during senior year, we decided we would meet each other's families and come out that way. First, she came to meet my family. My parents didn't approve, and my stepmother forced me to stab my girlfriend to death before the rest of my family ate her, while I just sat there on the kitchen floor, crying my heart out. I still remember the head being refrigerated for later. The wildest thing happened to me the other day. I found out a male co-worker is into Irish music, so I told him that my dad is an Irish musician and would he like to come to a session, and he straight up IRL said to me, name 5 Irish songs your dad knows. He asked me if I play, and I told him I played the fiddle when I was a teenager, but haven't played in years, and he was like, oh cool, I play drums as in a drum kit, you know, the famously folkish instrument, the drum kit. My name is Molly. Oh really, you really wanna challenge the legitimacy of my Irish music involvement? I can name 5 songs with my name in them. I was in the Slenderman game, and I was walking around finding the pages, trying to avoid him, when suddenly I saw a patch of sunlight that was shining on a little cottage house, and out pops Slenderman in a grandma-like frilly pink apron and holding a watering can, pouring the water over his plants. I thought to myself, if this was the side of Slenderman the media saw, we wouldn't be hating on him. And then I woke up. Tender man. He was trying to reach out. A muggle-born student gets called a mudblood, so they lick their hand and wipe it on the pureblood's face, singing got mud on your face, you big disgrace. Somebody better put you back into your place. All the muggle-borns in the vicinity immediately go stomp stomp clap repeatedly, getting closer and closer to the pureblood. And the pureblood's like, holy shit, is this some muggle damning ritual or something? Am I going to hell? I'm sorry. On occasion, I browse the clearance racks at overpriced hipster Y boutiques, cause from time to time you can find amazing deals, but being in rich people places always makes me a little nervous, and today when I was picking up a layaway from one of these shops, my nerves resulted in a story the shopkeepers are probably gonna be telling for quite a while. I'd just come from the feed store for lizard food, and it was like 95 out, so they were slowly being smothered to death in my backpack. So when the clerk, who I'd overheard, was only on her second day working there, gave me my fancy sundress in a bag way too big for it, I pulled out 2 dozen crickets in a plastic bag and a tub full of mealworms from my pack and set them gently on the bag, so they could breathe better till I got home. This girl's eyes go wide, and she looks imploringly back at the equally sterile looking manager helping her through the transaction. And I realize that this might look a little weird to folks who aren't reptile keepers. So, instead of doing the logical thing and explaining that I'm feeding leopard geckos, I sorta chuckled and shrugged apologetically and just said dinner, ick now? For the briefest of moments, there was an awkward silence so sweaty and suffocating you could drown in it, and then, in true daytime comedy fashion, the fucking crickets started chirping. So I guess I'm never going back there ever again. Oh my god. So I was talking to a buddy in psychology, and then this kid came in who looked exactly like him, and gave him a book he'd forgotten at home. And I went, holy sh, you have a twin? And he was like, yeah, his name is Jason. And I was like, I thought your name was Jason. Long story short, I have one of them in my math class and another in my psychology class, and I've developed a friendship with both of them, but I thought they were the same person this entire time. Remember this post, not Jason is refusing to tell me his name and everyone's keeping it from me, so I'm just calling him not Jason. Today in Spanish class, I heard one girl talking about Tumblr. She must be a hipster blog, because she said that Tumblr is all about Starbucks, beautiful quotes, and pretty people, and she said, and I quote, there is this whole other side of Tumblr called fandoms, but they scare me, and they are really possessive over a blue box and some other stuff. I babysit the 6-year-old, and I was wearing shorts today, and my scars were showing, I guess. He poked them, and he said, I know how those got there. I replied, how? He looked me straight in the face, and he says, I've seen them before. My big sister had them, and she said mean people put them on your body when they weren't nice to you, because if people are mean, you end up being mean to yourself. My big sister went away. I don't know where she went. Mommy said she's on a happy vacation somewhere because she was too sad here. I miss her. Don't go on a vacation, please. I don't think I've cried so hard in front of someone ever. When I was in preschool, there was this really weird system of timeout where they'd put you in this giant plastic bucket, sort of like this one. And the rule was you couldn't leave the bucket for 10 minutes. In case you didn't know, I was what the teachers referred to as a difficult child, which is code for walking entity of sass. So I was in the timeout bucket quite a bit. Once they put me in the bucket for 30 minutes, and I thought that was incredibly unfair. So I grabbed the handles and shifted my body repeatedly until the bucket and I were out of the classroom, in the hallway, and through the front door. They found me in the parking lot scooting to freedom in the timeout bucket. The teachers were furious and I said, hey, I never left the bucket. So they called my mum and told her what I did, and she just said, well, he never left the bucket. So far tonight, 3 mice have violently flung themselves into the glass front wall of the cabin, hard enough to knock themselves out. I really don't want to know what's about in the forest tonight that is making them so desperate to get inside. Probably a fox, maybe a demon, possibly a moose. I thought the moose was covered under demon. Accurate. Who'd win a fight though? Lucifer, Fingerprint, McTerrible, Fiddle Player, or 1500 pounds of chaotic a-hole with roughly 20 knives growing out of his head? The mountains are divine, because the devil doesn't dare go up there. Everyone's grandparents seem to have really cute stories of how they met, and like my grandparents met when my grandma was running away from police during a protest and she jumped on the back of my granddad's motorcycle and just screamed, drive fking drive. I don't know man, I think that story's pretty fkin cute. I really want a science fiction story where aliens come to invade Earth and effortless wipe out humanity, only to be fought off by the wildlife. They were expecting military resistance. They weren't counting on bears. Imagine coming to a hostile alien world and being attacked by a horde of creatures that can weigh up to 3 tons, run at 30 km/h 19 miles per hour, and bite with a force of 8,100 newtons 1,800 lbf. By the time you realize that they can traverse water, it's too late. The surviving members of your unit manage to make it back by shedding their excess gear and running for their lives. The slower ones were crushed to death within minutes. You later describe the creature to one of the humans you captured, wanting to know the name of the monstrosity that will haunt your nightmares for cycles to come. The human smiles as it speaks a single word, slowly and distinctly, in its barbaric tongue. Hippopotamus. This is giving me the biggest creepiest grin I might have ever grinned. Boys, I hate spooning cause I always get awkward boners. Okay, no, shut up, I'm purposely pushing my butt into your crotch so you get a boner. It's fun. Boners are fun. If you get one, grab my hips and pull them closer to you please. This girl just told the world our secret reason for loving spooning. Is this true? So my boyfriend and I tried role playing the other day and we did the whole professor and bad student who needs to pass thing. Only he wanted to be the professor, so I had to be the horny and failing student. I'm the valedictorian of my senior class of 400, and I have a horrible phobia of flunking. So when he whispered "You're failing my class, you naughty girl" in my ear, I started crying, and we had to stop Ron and Hermione spicing it up in the bedroom. Feeling the need to apologize for being mentally ill is a miserable thing. I'm sorry I can't focus well. I'm sorry I get all scrambled when I talk. I'm sorry I get sad easily or for no reason. I'm sorry I can't keep my room clean. I'm sorry if I embarrass you by crying in public, or if I annoy you when I talk about things that I've told you about 20 times already. I'd act normal if I knew how, but that's just not the way my brain works. This is legitimately the most embarrassing picture I have seen ever in my life. The story behind this photo was, she actually cut her foot, and having a great sense of humor, posed for this photo. Oh my god, I never noticed that thing on her foot. My dad and I were in a hotel and he tried the coffee and smiled and said, it's like making love in a canoe. And I said, it's that good. And he stopped smiling and looked me in the eye and said, no, it's f***ing close to water, before pouring it down the drain really dramatically and walking away. Oh my god. Extreme dad jokes. In 1937 two women caused a car accident by wearing shorts in public for the first time. In 1937 a careless driver caused an accident when he took his eyes off the road to ogle two women wearing shorts in public for the first time. F***ing thank you. Dear anyone who has ever been afraid of being judged by the cashier for buying something. I have been working in retail for 3 years and let me tell you, we don't care. Whether you're a trans boy buying tampons, or you're buying laxatives, or you're buying a thong or a package of Hello Kitty stickers, cashiers don't give a sh. We are usually too busy trying to find the damn barcode, or trying to sign you up for a membership card. And honestly, half the stuff I ring up doesn't even register in my brain. My thought process when ringing someone up is, scam, check screen, scam, check screen. Oh crap, did they just ask me something? So don't ever be afraid to buy something, okay? Kisses you and pats you on the head. Now go buy all the things. When I was 13 I was playing World of Warcraft and someone asked me my age. 13 was so young, so I lied and said I was 14. Cause that meant I was so much more mature. Well, I kept playing WoW with the same group of people, and 4 years later they thought I was 18. Someone started asking me how my applications to college were going since I was that age. Being caught in the lie about my age, I played along and asked for advice. I played along with the advice, which resulted in me actually putting in a college application to a university, and I got in as a high school junior. So to keep up this lie about my age, I now had to finish high school quickly so I could actually go to this university that accepted me. Great part is that I was able to do this by overloading my spring semester of senior year high school with online classes. Yay, Florida Online High School. I managed to graduate high school a year early and went to university a year early to keep this lie going. So here I am at a university 1,000 miles from my home state. Finished my BS, and am now doing a master's, all because 14 sounded way more mature than 13 on a f***ing video game. Sorry for formatting. On my cell phone in the lab I'm working in for my master's project. Lol. I'm dying. Cute story from work. So this couple walks in, a broad-shouldered man with an accent, Italian, I think, and a man that I can best describe as looking like Cecil Palmer. Okay, weird question. So you guys did our wedding, amazing by the way, and it's been a month, and just about all the flowers in the vases have died by now except for this one thing that's really holding on in there, and we want to know what that plant is, and how to take care of it to keep it alive, and we don't know how to describe it, and it sounds kind of weird to go up to a stranger and say, hey, what's this weird wiggly green plant you put in our vases a month ago, but I guess that's what I'm asking. Sounds like curly willow. If you keep it in water, it will eventually start rooting, and you can grow a new plant from the cutting. That is too cool. What do you suggest we do? Well, you can keep it in the water for now, but eventually you'll want to pot it in soil, because that's how it's going to get its nutrients. Can we? The Italian guy asks. Can we plant in the floor? I figure he means plant it outside. I nod. It'll keep growing. What does it look like when it's bigger? Does it stay like a wiggly stick? Oh, no, it'll branch out. It's actually a tree. The skinnier one turns to his husband and says, did you hear that, honey? They gave us a tree. We have a tree now. Italian man. It's our tree. We love our tree. That's so pure. My cat discovered he can fit under the couch and meowed until I came to look. It's 99 degrees outside, 4,000% humidity, and my husband was like, I'm gonna go for a bike ride, and I was like, why? No, why? Don't put us on the news like that. Local full collapses on unnecessary journey. Don't do it. So he says he doesn't want to hide in the house because the sun is shining. Bruh, honey bruh, the sun is shining. Does not cover it. It's hot outside. It's fucking hot as F outside. Our outdoor plants have been crying into their hands all week. Whole cars are melting into the sewer. Our fucking patio umbrella developed sentience to ask me for lemonade this morning. You need to work for the weather forecast. This was both hilarious and so vivid it made me stand up and get some iced tea. This is a great idea. Thank you. Here goes my audition tape for the Weather Channel. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to have a fucking funeral for the outdoors. It had a good run, with all its creeks and clouds and pretty great. Now it's 10:30 at night, but still 92 a whole sweating degras and humid as F. Everything is hot and slimy, like being a borrower that got trapped inside a bottle of shampoo and then accidentally microwaved. You can see on my Doppler radar that nothing is moving around out there because everything is probably dead. The only alive thing is the mosquito currently trying to drill a hole in my leg. No surprise that all the shbag mosquitoes are fine, since the thermostat of hell is always at the devil's preferred temperature. This forecast has gotten away from me a little, but in conclusion, F the sun. I think I've reblogged this before, but the thermostat of hell is always at the devil's preferred temperature is fucking poetry. But in conclusion, F the sun. I put new yellow shoelaces on my boots to show people I'm cool. I walk to my work full of old lady cashiers. I like your shoelaces. One of them says to me, I see my life flash before my eyes as this ancient test is presented before me.